1796, as his second term in office drew to a close, President George Washington chose not to seek re-election. Mindful of the precedent his conduct set for future presidents, Washington feared that if he were to die while in office, Americans would view the presidency as a lifetime appointment. Instead, he decided to step down from power, providing the standard of a two-term limit that would eventually be enshrined in the 22nd Amendment to the Constitution. Washington began his address by explaining his choice not to seek a third term as president. Washington revealed that he had hoped to retire prior to the previous election, but refrained due to the critical posture of our affairs with foreign nations, referring to the escalation of tensions with Great Britain over its war with France. But with that crisis past, Washington assured the country that his leadership was no longer needed. The Republic would be safe in the hands of a new president. Washington informed the American people of his retirement in a public letter that would come to be known as his farewell address. James Madison had written a draft in 1792 when Washington had contemplated retiring after his first term. Retaining only the first few paragraphs of Madison's version, Secretary of the Treasury Alexander Hamilton conducted an extensive rewrite, with Washington providing the final edits.
The resignation not only signified the end of Washington's tenure as Commander-in-Chief, a position to which he was appointed to on May 9, 1775, but also Washington's desire to return to his Mount Vernon estate as a private citizen. Americans ever since have viewed this event as a testament to Washington's Republican values, as he willingly surrendered power of the army back to the governmental body that first appointed him.
The story of Washington's voluntary resignation spread across the country and the globe, as he astonishingly gave up political power to return to his farm. Delegate James McHenry remarked, "The events of the Revolution just accomplished the new situation into which it had thrown the world. The great man who had borne so conspicuous a figure in it, in the act of relinquishing all public employments to return to private life. All conspired to render it a spectacle inexpressibly solemn and affecting." Across the Atlantic, upon learning of Washington's resignation from public life, King George III reportedly told the American-born artist Benjamin West, "If Washington does that, he will be the greatest man in the world." Another American painter, John Trumbull, was in London during Washington's resignation, an event which he found excites the astonishment and admiration of this part of the world. "'Tis a conduct so novel, so inconceivable to people, who, far from giving up powers they possess, are willing to convulse the empire to acquire more." When commissioned by the American government in the 1820s to paint 4 scenes of early American history, Trumbull famously immortalized Washington's resignation. Washington resigning his military commission currently hangs in the rotunda of the Capitol building alongside other scenes of monumental civic importance, including the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Washington was very conscious of the historical significance that would be placed on his resignation and return to private life. For many of his contemporaries, he was the American Cincinnatus, an image he cultivated. Lucius Quincticus Cincinnatus was a Roman hero who returned to his farm after taking up the sword for Rome. Through resigning his commission, Washington garnered immense respect and admiration from the American people. Ironically, his elevated status meant that Washington's retirement did not last long. Begrudgingly, Washington attended the Constitutional Convention in 1787, where he was unanimously elected as its president. The other delegates found Washington's mere presence to be crucial to the success of the endeavor. After the Constitution was ratified, Washington was unanimously elected to be the first president of the United States. He was sworn in on April 30, 1789, and served 2 terms before voluntarily giving up power for the last time. Joseph Hillman. George Washington University.
In 1796, As his second term in office drew to a close, President George Washington chose not to seek re-election. Mindful of the precedent his conduct set for future presidents, Washington feared that if he were to die while in office, Americans would view the presidency as a lifetime appointment. Instead, he decided to step down from power, providing the standard of a two-term limit that would eventually be enshrined in the 22nd Amendment to the Constitution.